So I want to talk about why John Paul II is relevant today. I had some notes, I had some ideas I wanted to share with you. I came here and I sat in front of this camera and I couldn't speak, and I was overwhelmed with my own need for this man's fatherhood. And I think that word says it all. What makes John Paul II relevant today? We need fathers. We don't know who we are. When we don't know who our father is, we don't know who we are. When our father doesn't know how to father us, we don't know what it means to be human. We don't even know our own identity. There's so much talk in the world today about identity, but we don't have a flippin' clue who we really are. Our fathers determine our sexual identity. It's biologically a fact. The sperm determines whether you are male or whether you are female. Today, we look at masculinity and femininity, and they've lost all meaning. John Paul II is my Holy Father. This man told me who I am. That's why he's relevant today, because we need to know who we are as male and female, made in the image and likeness of God. I get teary because it's so beautiful. Who we really are is so beautiful. And nobody's telling us. We are being lied to. Who has been unscathed by the incessant lies of a media culture that will prize and idolize bodies idealized and hyper-eroticized, but criticize and despise any shape and size it cannot commoditize? We need new eyes if we are to realize that the true value of the body lies not in being objectivized, standardized, and commercialized, but in being personalized, baptized, divinized. And this is what John Paul II's theology of the body supplies. I was 8 years old, almost 9, when this man was elected Pope. Little did I know, as a 9-year-old kid, that this new Polish Pope would become my Holy Father. He would tell me who I am. He would tell me what it means to be human. He would tell me what it means to be a man. He would tell me what my body is for. Right at the same time, I was going through puberty and getting swept away by what the culture was telling me I should do with all my desires. This Polish father of mine was delivering a series of 129 talks between 1979 and 1984 called The Theology of the Body. I wouldn't come to discover it until my early 20s, but when I did, he told me what this ache that I've always felt deep in my bones. I have felt it. And he was the first one to tell me, it's good. The ache is good. I'm 24 years old, reading it for the first time, and it was like he was talking right to my heart. Christopher, that ache you have inside, that yearning, that hunger for something, it's called eros. E-R-O-S, the Greek word eros. We get the English word erotic from this Greek word. In my mind at the time, I was like, what? It's good? It comes from God? Like, anything that was erotic in my mind was synonymous with the pornographic. And John Paul II says, no, you're confusing that Greek word eros with this other Greek word porneia. The pornographic is the twisting, the distortion of eros. And eros, he said, is the upward impulse of the human spirit towards everything true, good, and beautiful. What? This cry of my heart, this yearning, this burning, which only seemed to get me in trouble. You mean there's another way to live this out? There's another way to see? There's another way to think about sexuality? There's another way to think about being a man? There's another way to see a woman? My father had never told me that, but this father, this holy father, held this out to me. And he said, come, and you'll become one who sees the world differently. You'll become one who sees the body differently. You'll become one who sees the whole universe differently. I came to realize I was looking at the body, I was looking at the world, but I wasn't seeing it. It's interesting, isn't it? There's a difference between looking and seeing. I ask my audiences this question all around the world, and I ask women in particular, because they get this. I'll say, ladies, do you prefer to be looked at by a man or seen by a man? We all know we want to be seen. In fact, St. Augustine says, the deepest desire of the human heart is to see another and be seen by that other's loving gaze. In the modern world, we have exchanged seeing for looking. Right? To see someone is to see the whole person in their integrity, in the unity of body and soul. To see someone is to see the inner beauty of the person radiating in and through that which is visible. The body, John Paul II says, and only the body, he says, is capable of making visible what is invisible. There's something deeper than merely that which is visible in our humanity. We're not just bodies, but our bodies, John Paul II taught me, make visible what is invisible. When we're just looking at the body, we stop here. We stop at the surface. And when we're just looking, we evaluate based on whether or not the other body pleases me. And when we evaluate, we end up using people based on whether they please us. And if they don't please us, we discard them. We treat them as dispensable, replaceable, repeatable. That's what happens when we just look at bodies. When we see the body not just as a body, but somebody, we recognize the person, the bodily person, is indispensable, irreplaceable, unrepeatable. These are John Paul II's words, and they gave me an understanding, a context in which to understand my own life and why I was in so much pain. Because I was looking but not seeing, and I was being looked at but not being seen. You see, toasters are dispensable. If it breaks, you throw it away. Toasters are replaceable. It breaks, you throw it away, you get another one. Toasters are repeatable. There are 1 million of the very same model in the Amazon warehouse, right? But human beings are the kind of creatures. This is what I learned from John Paul II. This is what we're meant to learn from our fathers. Persons are indispensable, irreplaceable, unrepeatable. When we're treated as a thing, when we are looked at and evaluated based on whether or not we please someone, and then when we are discarded because we don't please them, it wounds us profoundly. I can say for certain that so much of the pain of my life, indeed, I think I can say for certain all of the pain of my life, has come from not being seen, from being treated as something dispensable, replaceable, repeatable. John Paul II is relevant today because we don't know who we are. And we need what he saw to tell us who we are. I could go on and on and on, and I do. If you want to learn more about why John Paul II is relevant today, consider taking one of the courses that we offer at the Theology of the Body Institute. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, like it, share it with others, become part of our community also by becoming a patron of the Theology of the Body Institute. Click the links below to learn more.